All right, 8.2, number 1, we want to know which of these following matrices is in reduced row echelon form. Okay, so reduced row echelon form means we're going to have ones down the diagonal, 0 everywhere else. Okay, so this one does not meet the criteria. And we're not talking about the other side of the vertical bar, just the main part of the matrix. So we got ones down the diagonal here, but we don't have a 0 everywhere else. This one has 1, but a -1, not the same. And then D has 1 down the diagonal and 0 everywhere else. So this is what we call reduced row echelon form. If we were to answer this matrix, what this means in terms of X and Y, usually we would put X in the first column and then Y here, and then equals our answer over here. So in this scenario, the way you would read this matrix, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then we have our little answers over here, which are 4 and 7. Okay, this will be an order pair. This means that X in that column, X equals 4, and in this column Y, where that 1 is, Y equals 7. So the ordered pair would be 4, 7. So I want you to understand how to read it, because I'm going to show you how the calculator will compute this for you. So I want you to understand it and also be able to read it. Now, number 2 wants us to determine whether this statement is true or false. So it says this matrix right here is in row echelon form, not reduced row echelon form, but row echelon form. So row echelon form just says we're going to have a 1 in the first position, zeros below it, and then all the way down the diagonal we're going to have 1 and zeros below it. And that meets the criteria. This last row is all zeros, which just means that this is a dependent system, meaning we might have an infinite number of solutions, or this was just an extra equation. Either way, this is in row echelon form, not reduced. So the first one, be careful, wanted reduced row. So that means everything is going to be a 0 other than the diagonal. And then this problem here just says row echelon form. So be careful. So this is true, that we have our ones down our diagonal, zeros below it. That meets the criteria. That's the main thing. There were a few more things in the book, but if you see that, that's the most of the definition. And here it is here. So you got 1 in the first row, zeros below it. The first non-zero empty row, the first non-zero entry in each row after the first row is 1, and only zeros appear below it. And the 1 appears to the right of the first non-zero entry in any row above it. So as you go down and to the right, that's where the 1 appears, down and to the right. All rows contain, any row that contains zeros, all zeros, to the left of the vertical bar appear at the bottom. So that's what this is. Here's the vertical bar. 1 row with all zeros is at the bottom. So those are all the terms of row echelon form.